Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. Now, just before Christmas 2023, I made a review video of the Pinter 3 homebrew system. Having messed about with homebrew myself quite a lot since lockdown actually, I was very impressed with this system. There was very little mess and it's very difficult to make a mistake. I brewed an Ancestors bitter. It was very nice and it stayed fresh and carbonated in the barrel right up until the very last pint. I'm now more than looking forward to trying a new brew, and this time I've been sent a naughty and spiced dark ale to try. Now I've got to say off the bat, this probably isn't one that I would have picked myself. It's a special edition Christmas beer. So in this video we are going to brew it and try it and taste it and see what we think. I won't be going into such great detail on this video. I did all that on the first video. If you're new to this and you want to find out how to brew your own beer, I suggest you go away and have a look at the first video. I'll leave a link in the description. But needless to say, it's the same process, very easy. When you open the beer pack, there's a 2D barcode printed on the inside. You scan that on your phone. That takes you to the Pinter app, and on there, there's lots of online instructions that you can watch on your phone, and it's very difficult to really make a mistake. Now with any homebrew, I would say the most important stage is to make sure that your equipment is sterilised and cleaned. Any contamination at this stage will ruin the beer. Pinter do supply you with a little packet of sterilising solution. It's very easy to do. You just add hot water and slosh it around the tank. Once everything is spotlessly clean, then we're good to go with the brewing process. And like I showed you in more detail on the first video, it's so easy really, because Pinter have got little videos on their website, on the app, and it takes you through it one step at a time, and it's really difficult to make any mistakes. The beer mix itself comes in a plastic pouch. It's quite thick and sticky. It has the viscosity of treacle. This is the only part of the process where you might get a little bit messy. I would certainly suggest that you wear gloves and try not to get this on your clothes. Now you need to get every scrap, every ounce of this beer mix into the tank, and then once that's done, you look inside the tank. There's a white section and a black section, and then you simply fill it up to that line with cold water. And that's it, you're done. Unlike other homebrew kits, there's no sugar that you have to measure out and possibly make a mistake. So you put the cap back on and then you have to mix everything together. This is what they call the Pinter shake. You have to shake the whole barrel for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, to make sure all the solution and the water is mixed. Once that's done, you can then attach the brew dock. This simply slots on the top of the tank, and then we'll invert the tank, turn it upside down, so that whilst this is brewing, all of the yeast will be trapped at the bottom and it won't then mix with the beer. And that's it. All of the hard work is done. Next stage is the fermentation. You just simply follow the app on your phone. It'll be varied depending on what beer that you're making. Now I chose to put mine upstairs a little bit close to a radiator because it's been very cold in midwinter here in the UK. Once the fermentation process is finished, you then can remove the beer dock. You've got to do this in a sink. It can be just a little bit messy, and then we can move the beer on for conditioning. Again, the amount of days will depend on the beer and the app will tell you. Now that the brew dock has been removed, I just need to let this Pinter settle now. It's 10 days for this naughty and spiced beer. I'm not quite sure how I feel about a spiced beer. I might not like this. It's probably not one I would choose myself. They sent it with the kit. But I'm open to try anything once. Just need to put the end cap on now on the handle. Unfortunately, we're sort of very close to Christmas and there's no room in both our fridges, so I'm going to leave this to settle in the shed. Temperature out here, you can see that it's about sort of 6.5, 7 degrees, so perhaps a little bit warmer than I would like, but at night time it will go down a bit lower, and I have got a heater in here so it won't go to freezing. Anyway, you can leave this for its 10 days to condition, and then we're going to come back and we'll try it. Okay, here we are. It's been 10 days now, conditioning the beer. And I have poured a quick half a glass away to clear the tap. But it's now chance to pour this for the first time, really. Very gentle there. So this is a Christmas spiced beer. I've never had a spiced beer before. I'm a little bit apprehensive. I don't know quite how it's going to work out, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to just pour a small glass for Mrs. Fred. She doesn't mind a beer, and I'm going to get her opinion as well, because I think my opinion, I've got a massive head on that one. I think my opinion is probably might be a little bit off. So this is an ale, whereas I normally like bitter, and Mrs. Fred is probably more of a lager person. Well, gin and tonic and wine, to be honest. There we go. We're going to pour one out there for Mrs. Fred. So it's a very dark beer. We'll give it that. It's almost like a Guinness, isn't it? Anyway, right. This is going to be a little bit off the bat, but we'll take those indoors and we'll do a testing. We've got a curry tonight. So beer and a curry. I mean, what a combination. So here we go then. We're going to do the tasting. It does look like Guinness, doesn't it?
It does look.
It is quite dark. It's an ale. It's relatively clear. Hang on in. What do you think? Just smell a bit.
It smells okay.
It does smell quite sort of almost spicy. What do you think? Can you tell?
It's okay.
It's drinkable, is it?
Yeah.
Let me have a go. Slurp off camera. It's definitely an ale, isn't it? It's definitely you can't mistake that. There's a bit of a sort of undertaste of, I don't want to say spice, but slightly.
There's something.
There's something there, isn't there? Slightly sort of nutmeggy. Would you say?
Sort of more like a mixed spice, Christmassy sort of a.
Right. Well, it is a Christmas. Yeah, well, it is
a bit like the spices that you put through.
Yeah, well, it is supposed to be a Christmas beer. I mean, it was a I think it's a limited edition Christmas beer. It's not one I'd normally choose. Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of Christmassy sort of. Yeah, it's different. I mean, I think it's drinkable though. I'm certainly going to drink it with my Tesco's curry. We know how to live, don't we, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Says the missus there, she's got, what's that, a bottle of champagne, isn't it? Or Prosecco. All right, okay. So she's going to stick to her Prosecco. So, yeah, there you go. In a Stella glass, but a spiced ale. It's actually quite nice. It's quite drinkable. Wouldn't be what I'd normally choose. It's come out really well. And it actually is relatively clear. It's a very dark beer, though. There you go, a spiced ale. Well, something a little bit different on Fred in the Shed. So anyway, I'm going to tuck into our Tesco's curry now. So as always, there's a thumbs up from Fred and a thumbs up from Mrs. Fred. That's a very rare sign. A thumbs up from Mrs. Fred. Thanks for watching the video. As always, drink sensibly, stay safe, and of course, catch you on the next one, guys. Cheers.